Awesome. Let's go. Um, Alright, so I can see the stream.
Okay.
But the screen's still black.
Is the screen black now?
Yeah, well, there's a delay on the stream, so I think it should work in a bit.
Yeah. Uh, it shouldn't be too long because I did start Cogmind up pretty quickly after hitting start streaming. So.
Alright.
You should be able to see it on screen share by now, at least.
Yeah, I can see it on screen share, alright. Not on stream yet, but I'll reload stream, see if that works.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes Twitch, if you have a person's channel up before they start streaming, it doesn't realize when they've started, and it doesn't start sending you the stream, so you have to reload.
Yeah, I can see it now, so
Okay.
it should be fine. Alright. Hey everyone, welcome back to the stream.
Yeah, welcome back. Recap, we are targeting the archives event in -4, and we are currently at -9.
Yeah, so you've made a lot of progress last time.
Yes. We farmed -9 pretty heavily, as with -10. This particular seed doesn't have prototype flight units anywhere in materials, so we are doing the lighter, more ZXC style build that can handle that, and aiming to use a bunch of hackware along with it. We have found both of the thrusters that are available so far, and we do have a decent amount of hackware. So this is going pretty well, and we can scan these on -8 and then at least start fabbing, and then we will at least have some thrusters that will actually work. So last time you were saying?
The VTOL modules aren't really what you'd want normally, but it's just that on the seat there's nothing else available.
Yeah, there's nothing else available at this point. There might be like one cesium ion on -8, in which case we'll take that and scan that. But still, yeah, the operator farming did go pretty well. Where we left off, we were debating whether to go to the mines or straight up to -8. We could go. We do know of an exit to -8, and there probably are a few others over here. Oh, hey, there's an operator there that I didn't see.
Oh, okay, so there's still an operator left. Do you want to go for that, or should we just leave?
I mean, if we go for that, we're probably not going to the mines because my core is getting pretty low for going to the mines. I don't think we really need it. At the same time, so with the sort of like with the lighter flying build, the slots on -7 are 1, 4, 6, 2, and you have out of the utilities, 3 of them will be taken for your storage, your sensor, and your signal interpreter, and you put the latter 2 on right away because the build needs to not get hit more than the brick does.
Yeah, so you can't just fly around blindly because you'll get punished quite heavily for it,
Yeah.
and you don't have a lot of margins since we don't have a lot of thrusters.
Yeah, and because of that, there's only room for 3 pieces of hackware on -7 anyway.
Yeah, so
and we would kind of like to have that be even 2 hacking suites and a system shield, which we're only going to get on -8, I believe.
Yeah, so my thoughts on this right now, I mostly agree with you. I think going for the operator may be slightly more beneficial than going to mines, but neither of them are very important. And I think it'll be more interesting to go through mines anyway, so let's do that maybe.
Especially since ideally we already have a backup hacking suite, and if we go through here, there probably are a bunch of patrols coming to replace all the ones we just killed.
Yeah, I mean, we can handle it, and another hacking suite will be maybe useful, but not very useful since we
Yeah.
already have 3. So
We already
hopefully we
have
can
3,
leave
and they
that.
barely get hit. If you're used to playing the light flying builds, you don't get spotted very much.
Yeah, yeah. The only reason I would really like more hacking suites if this were a brick build is what I often do is I equip the hacking suites, I fabricate some stuff that I need, and
And
I
then you take
de-equip
them
them,
off. Yes.
and then I take them off for the signal array and signal or the sensor array signal interpreter, and then I go into mines. Since brick build it doesn't need signal interpreter and sensor array combo in the main level as much.
Yeah, and those main floors are also where you want to do most of your hacking. So for you, with the brick build, it makes sense to have a bunch of extras because you're going to keep discarding them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
But
but
in this case, there's not really a need,
yeah,
so we
we're
can just.
not really going to be discarding them, especially since we intend to keep the hackware and the sensor plus signal interpreter on at all times.
Right. Oh, let's go into mines then.
Right. Oh, hello, little serfs. Let's see where we are. Okay, not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
I could crush them.
Yeah, be sure to switch to threads though.
Yeah.
I often make that mistake. I think there's also a keyword shortcut, semicolon, I think.
Yeah, I believe there are shortcuts to cycle each of the part types, but
Mm-hmm.
let's see. I would say up first just because there's less space up there.
I'd say it doesn't really matter at this point.
It doesn't matter very much, but just ah.
Okay, that's painful. Okay, so normally swarmers are a big reason you want to carry explosives here, but we're already in close quarters and they're faster, so we can't take distance and we don't want to blow ourselves up.
Yeah.
So I just move back diagonally one tile and then shoot them one by one.
So, but if I move back diagonally one tile, they can go here, 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 and all have shots on me. If I stay here, they at least have to shoot around each other.
Don't. Oh, you might be right. I was thinking about the AI. No, I think you may be right.
Yeah, because
I was thinking they might not hop over each other, but they probably would.
they can hop over each other, but they
Mhm.
can't hop over me, is the thing.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
these
So
two
it's
have to at least try to shoot around this one. Sometimes they can, and they'll shoot anyway, but it at least makes it a little harder for them, and they have a good chance of hitting this one if they miss, or they have to come around and flank me. If I go here, these 3 tiles all have direct line of fire, and they'll go there.
yeah. All right. You can shoot like this then.
Nice!
Nice. Lucky.
Got 2 of them in one volley. So there was a 4th
Wow.
over here, but still.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, these are pretty nice. They can core a swarmer quite easily if they hit the core, and we managed to get 2 core hits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have the right amount of damage and you have the extra charge.
So I got this one, and the other one went around.
All right.
I'm just gonna compare this to a VTOL. I know that the flight units are crap.
They are very very bad. But I mean, you could maybe pick one up. I don't know.
I don't want one. It's they're 4 support instead of 5, and that
Yeah, that's a
is
huge deal.
it's just the margin on the basic flight units is so tiny that you wind up carrying basically nothing else, and you want to carry a lot of other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
With VTOLs carrying like one more for the same amount of energy is at least likely to help you like get a better engine up to power it, or like actually have storage and stuff like that.
Oh, personally, in my experience, any type of regular thruster isn't good enough to have extra stuff except just engines and the thrusters themselves.
Oh, I mean,
But
definitely prototypes are way better, especially in the early game, because the margins they give you to carry other stuff and to fly without energy deficits are so much larger. But when the margins are already tiny because you have to deal with regular thrusters, every little bit of extra margin helps.
yeah, that's true.
Swarmer probably decided to like go around somewhere far away and is now forgotten about me because their memories aren't very long.
Yeah. So as long as you don't loop back, he shouldn't find you probably.
Well, even if I do loop back, one swarm alone is not a big deal. It's more that they work in groups so much that it makes, and are, because they're so small, they're better at shooting around each other, that makes them so much of a problem.
Yeah. That's also why explosives are really useful.
Yeah.
Right. So are they in? I'd argue.
I
In
could
this
use
situation.
explosives here. The thing is
Yeah, but it
that
would hit
if
the
I
wall.
miss, it'll hit the wall and it'll blow me up.
Yeah, and additionally, then you'll have lost any cover. So I would move back around the bend and just fight them one by one the normal way.
Yeah. So if I stay here, they can both fire at me like this. So I would go here.
Yeah, I think that's best. And then just wait to get the bonus targeting. You see, they do this interesting thing where they don't stand in the far corner.
Yeah.
Because they want to move in a tile that's in front of you and they can't, so they're waiting. But they could have been shooting you from there. So sometimes the AI is a bit quirky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they could go here and shoot around, but they don't realize that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we really want the light assault rifle at this point.
Do we have any thermal weapons or something? Because
No, we do have the improved light cannon.
yeah, I don't like cannon personally, but I mean, sort of a personal preference. I mean, this one has a lower rating, so it should be worse. But
Yeah.
I just like the assault rifle type weapons more myself, because they also have more salvage.
Yeah. I would say like I'm not using the light cannon outside specific situations where I don't really care about salvaging.
Yeah, okay, sure. And we have enough regular guns that there's enough backup, so
Yeah. So uh,
it's probably not worth taking them.
yeah. Just the damage difference is so big in the cases where I just want the robot dead and I don't want its stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there's a whole bunch of regular thrusters, and yes, I'm ignoring them.
Yeah, they're basically non-existent in the game. It's like they only exist in speedruns, and for all other situations, they should be completely ignored.
They're useful either in speedruns or when you are absolutely desperate and would otherwise be on core hover.
Yeah, but if you're already absolutely desperate on -9 materials, then you should maybe restart the run.
Restart the run or try to improve your combat tactics first before you're trying to farm for a flight build.
Yeah, agreed.
Just checking if there's a tunnel here. Nope. But yeah, if you're having sufficient levels of that kind of problem in materials, you should be working on your tactics for materials.
Yeah.
You should not be trying to farm flight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a certain prerequisite level of knowledge of the game before you start farming for a flight build.
Yeah.
Especially for the brick setup, you can cut it pretty close in terms of how much you can farm before you die.
Yeah.
But yeah, in order to do that efficiently, you really need to understand the first few floors properly.
Yeah. I'd say I don't think we want to take any of these.
No, agreed. Since the EM has chance of blowing engines up, which
Yeah,
is really annoying.
it's not like the highest chance of blowing engines up, but it is pretty noticeable, and it doesn't do very much damage because it's EM. So, and we don't want to pair it with. So we don't want to pair it with non-EM, and we don't want to try corrupting to death because at this point it's still harder than just killing the bot with hardware damage.
Yeah. My general rule of thumb is if you have a energy weapon, then you need a dedicated setup.
Yeah, energy does tend to require a dedicated setup a lot more with heat sinks and stuff. They can be really good, especially in the late game once it is easier to corrupt the bot to death because you're only dealing with 100% of system corruption than you're dealing with like high integrity and more resistances. EM is really nice. If you are still fighting at that point, but our plan is not to still be fighting at that point beyond maybe like in the extension chain providing some supporting fire for allies.
Yeah, and even then, providing supporting fire could be very dangerous. So if we can avoid a situation where it's necessary to do that, that would be preferable.
Yeah. The one point I'm thinking it might be important in the extension chain for anyone who hasn't seen the extension chain itself, pause for like a minute because I'm going to discuss what's in it. So there's the behemoths and extension itself that I mean, yes, you can let the allies do it if you have a bunch of allies, but also you're going to lose a few of them if you don't provide supporting fire.
A few of them, just say pretty much all of them.
Yeah. In fact, for that, I'll probably want to be like starting to look for a good EM weapon, like a Herf cannon and so on, to take in just for stuff like that. And like pair up with the A7's EM and corrupt the behemoths to death.
All right. Sounds risky, but interesting.
That's what Mouth did, and it actually worked.
All right, interesting. I haven't done the extension a whole lot on flight builds, or at all really, since it doesn't really fit into the flying brick strategy.
Yeah, I haven't done it a lot, but apparently, like if you have high dodge and like one piece of armor, and you position yourself well, and especially let the allies aggro first, so that the behemoths fire at them and not at you, then it can work out.
Yeah, I think it's very much doable to get through, but getting through and keeping your allies alive, that's a lot more difficult.
Yeah, and the thing is, we want the allies to stay alive because we want them for the rest of the chain.
Yeah, they're pretty important for the next part.
Yeah, so specifically for that and a few situations in there, I might want like one EM cannon.
Yeah. All right, so Mines is done pretty much.
Mines is done. Like we could go explore this bit again, but I don't really see a need to.
No, it's not necessary, I think.
We managed to take no core damage in Mines. That was kind of impressive.
Pretty nice. Yeah, so at this point, the only thing we could gain by staying here is maybe an experimental sensor array, but I believe the chances for that are so incredibly small that it wouldn't be very satisfying to try and grind for that and explore every little
also, I think even if it happens in Mines, it only happens in one place, either -10 or -9. So it could be on -10.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, there's not really a point, especially once we put our hackware on, we will have a reasonably good chance to hack for advanced sensor gear anyway.
Yeah, well, I think the difference between advanced sensor array and experimental sensor array is actually pretty huge.
It is pretty huge.
That's a bit behind the point here, maybe.
But the chance of getting the experimental sensor array is pretty small. Now that we have found an exit, especially since this is relatively close, we could go. It wouldn't be too risky because we know where to run to.
Yeah, but yeah, I'll let you make the call. So we could do it, we could also not do it. It's probably not going to be a huge difference between the two cases, since the chance is so small. It's just going to take a little bit of time.
We don't really care about speed on this run, especially since with all the hacking, in order to really make sure that we have a good high dodge setup and can take some hits for the extension chain, we're probably going to be doing a fair amount of fabbing and potentially even shoot looping anyway. So
I mean,
we might as well. Now that we know where to run to.
The first part of the stream, we've already come to terms with the fact that this is going to be a bit of a slow let's play.
Yes.
So, yeah. I would probably move back behind the rock in the middle of the room, diagonally, and just wait for them to come to you. You can probably take one out.
Just like here?
Yeah, right there. You can wait for 2 turns, and you have maximum targeting, and you have pretty good weapons, so you'll be able to take out the first one and then fight the other one one-on-one, I think.
Apparently this is one of the they can shoot at me and I can't shoot at them situations.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. I hadn't taken that into account. Then you should probably move up 1 tile and just wait again.
Because you can see they shot at me, I couldn't shoot either of them.
Which is a bit unfortunate.
Well, I disabled one!
That's nice. Awesome.
This is not in
pretty good.
It's not in really like good flight condition, but it's okay. What I might actually do is replace these treads that have taken a bunch of damage and use the extra spot for this.
Yeah. What's the coverage on the or the integrity on the improved treads?
51 integrity, 80 coverage. Light treads are still 80 coverage.
Yeah, right. So probably switch to light treads then, yeah.
Well, I would switch these ones because they're more damaged.
Yeah, that's. I was saying switch to light treads.
Yeah.
Yeah. You also have a more damaged pair of light treads in your inventory, I think.
Yes, I do, but generally what I do is I'm putting on relatively high integrity parts to maximize not only use matter efficiently, but maximize the chance that I will find better parts before I need to actually use the more damaged ones.
Okay. What I personally do is always pretty much the opposite. I equip the most damaged parts first, because if they break, an alert gets lowered, which is useful.
That's true, though in materials alert doesn't go very high in the first place unless you really make a mess.
Yeah, that's true. Also, the other reason is if you equip the most damaged ones first, or I mean the least damaged ones first, then you'll end up with a ton of... so the integrity really gets divided over all the parts. So you need more effective storage for the same amount of integrity. If you understand what I mean.
Yeah, I do.
It's not a huge deal, but...
I'd say definitely it also depends on like how pressured my storage is. Like if I have lots of low integrity parts, yes, I will start sometimes equipping some of the more damaged ones to get rid of them if I don't have any extra storage slots. But you'll notice that like other than the hacking suites that we farm, so they've taken some damage. Literally, and like these we farmed, so they also took some damage, and still even that only 2 of them have gotten into yellow and everything else is green.
Yeah, okay, but still,
Yes, you have a point
on the
about
flying build.
how much integrity you can hold in your storage at once.
Yeah, because also, let's say you have to. I don't want to discuss this too lengthily because it'll be uninteresting to view. But last point, if you have 2 pairs of threads, if they're both in the orange and you need to make room and you drop one of them, then you still have an orange thread left. If you have one that's really damaged, like say in the red, and the other one's green, and you want to drop one, then you still have full integrity left. So
Yeah, that's true.
it's a little bit better in terms of that.
Okay, unless there's something more over here, there's only one exit.
All
I
right.
think there are always 2 exits to mine, so probably there is something over here with an exit.
Chat's really quiet, by the way. Rain made a couple of comments about the mines and assault rifles. But other than that, pretty quiet.
How many people do we have?
5 people watching right now. So that's a lot less than last time, but
Yes.
I reckon more people will watch once we do the actual flight guide.
Probably.
Flying break guide.
Yeah, so there's this whole other section over here. In fact, the excavator was probably excavating to connect them.
You think? Normally they just make regular rooms, right?
Well, this definitely looks like a tunnel, right?
Yeah, up to the point where they started excavating, but I don't think I've ever seen them excavate a tunnel.
If you watch in the scrapyard, they will do it. They are programmed to.
Okay.
It's just outside the scrapyard, you don't see it super often because generally they're working within a largely already built map. But the scrapyard is largely unbuilt, so you can actually see them work in that way. Yeah, no experimental sensors, and we have explored the mines. We are done.
Yeah. Ring was saying in chat, Story was talking to CXC, not paying attention, lol, did anything cool happen in mines? Well, it's okay.
It was an extremely boring mines. We got no special events.
Yeah, it was pretty boring. So, no events at all, indeed. Yeah, so it's understandable if you get distracted from the stream because not much interesting is happening right now. But maybe we could try, I don't know, picking up the pace a little bit. And we'll see.
Let's see. So pretty standard.
Yeah, this is still standard weight level, both for this build and flying brick.
Yeah, they diverge specifically at factory, the evolution you take on entering -7.
Yep.
So nothing we really need to put on in utilities at this point.
Yeah, I put on the damaged threads though.
Yeah. One of the perks of going to the mines is that we have a big chunk of the materials layout now, including we know where the garrison is.
Which is nice because that means we can avoid it, hack it, destroy it, or whatever.
Yeah, like we could potentially put a hacking suite on now even, but I don't think we really want to. What you were saying?
I was saying if we can get a Trojan operators off, we'll know how many operators there are, then we can judge if you can stand to lose a hacking suite.
Yeah. Like we don't really need it at this point. Though we do like know now that there's a terminal here that we could use, but it's also right near the garrison.
Yeah.
Stockpile data. We do not care for a terrain scanner or a heavy particle cannon. We might take the terrain scanner very briefly just to fill the slot, but...
Rain saying use the slot for armor or heatsink.
Yes, we do not have either.
Yet, but yeah, but we'll try to find some.
Yeah.
Once we find them, we'll put them on.
Ooh, nice. Also, now that we have 3 of these, it's safe to use this one as a backup engine here if we really need to.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say I thought our inventory was full, so then you can toss the improved iron engine and equip the damaged light nuclear core, but he still had a spot, so...
I had a spot. Also, we can even swap out the damaged improved ion engine for this one, since matter is pretty plentiful here.
Yeah, sure.
Like, once you start flying, matter becomes a lot less plentiful, and you have to actually go deal with, like, deliberately hunt recyclers for it, so you should be more aware of that, but nice.
Some prototype kinetic guns, that's really
Yes,
good.
we are trying them on.
And also
Ooh.
other gun, awesome. That's really
And
nice.
only one of them is faulty, too. Those are really nice.
Yeah.
So I'd say...
Toss the shotgun, improved light cannon,
yeah.
other gun also maybe.
This one goes. This one we will take back. That one's faulty.
Shotgun is worse than the outer gun.
Yeah. All prototype guns. Very nice.
Yep. Also, I think we have... so having more guns than you really need is better than having more engines than you really need. So maybe drop one engine. Since 2 engines should be enough.
That's
And
true.
with guns, you don't really need that many, but having more spec up is always useful.
I think this is one room with 2 doors, so I kind of want to go for this terminal first and get a bit more information about what's around.
I'd argue that it's important to first know the layout well enough to know where you want to fight before you get any closer to the garrison.
That's true. Though
Since
here isn't too bad, though it's far away.
yeah, it's far away. But if you can check the rooms on the left and also down there, maybe if there's a good room to fight in, we'll know it before we go to
Okay,
the...
this was good because we are taking this armor.
Yep, that's nice.
But this is not a good room to fight in because it has 2 doors. I would still go for this one.
Sorry, what did you say?
So this room has 2 doors. So if I try to fight in it, I'm going to get flanked.
Yeah, but it could be worse.
True.
It's better than moving all the way down the hallway with 130 speed all the while being shot.
I'd say it depends on the enemy positioning, because if they're like over here and I can, or like over here or something, and I can turn the corner and not get shot at and make it to the room, then it's okay.
Yeah, alright, true.
Let's also check this. Yeah. Actually, I would take this room. Only 1 door.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I hadn't noticed that one. That's a good one to find in here.
Probably.
Let's hope there's no bots nearby.
Well, it's probably going to call... Oh, can they not call reinforcements from the garrison? Okay.
I don't think they can, right? They can only call bots that actually exist, I thought.
So, index terminals, Trojan operators.
Trojan operators, probably, I'd say. Since then we know if you can equip hacking suites.
One more try.
I think
Ouch.
you shouldn't do that. That's... Okay, that was... it was not good.
Yeah. Normally, if it's only at 40% trace, it's still okay because the trace only goes up by like 40 or 50% and you wind up at like 90 or something, but it's fine.
There's actually a pretty decent chance for it to go up by like 70-75%. So
okay, noted.
If you're under 30%, yeah, then it's safe. 40%, definitely not safe.
Okay.
I was trying to stop you, but it was just too late.
Yes, you were just a little too late.
Yeah, and it's also because the risk really wasn't worth it, because this is a really painful position. Also, if you try to grenade these guys, I think it will just call another batch of them from the garrison.
Probably.
Unless the grenade is strong enough to break it. Can you check how strong that is?
Let's see.
25 armor, and how much damage does the grenade do? We have 2 types. That's enough damage.
Doesn't it have explosive resist though?
Oh, you should check.
Explosive resist, so that's not going to break
yeah.
it. Electromagnetic weakness, the shock bomb launcher will very much break it.
Okay, does it do enough damage?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's more than enough, I think. It'll probably break it in 1 or 2 tries.
I'm pretty sure if it hits it will break it, because 25 armor, that weakness to electromagnetic, so it only needs to do 12 or 13 damage, and the minimum damage on this is 14. If it hits, it will break the garrison.
It has minus 50%, so that means it takes 1.5 times as much damage, right?
No, it takes twice as much damage, I think.
It does? But then, what would minus 100% mean?
That's true. It might be 1.5. I'm not sure exactly.
I'm
But
pretty
even if
sure
it's
1.5.
Even if it's 1.5, this has a decent chance of breaking the garrison.
Yeah, I think this is your best bet right now, though it's not guaranteed to immediately break it. Yeah, okay. I was gonna say you swap out the enhanced, since the other one's already damaged anyway.
Yes.
So if that gets hit, it's not as bad, relatively. Right, let's hope this works. Okay, another try.
There we go.
Awesome. Nice. So yeah, you could just try using the launcher to kill most of them, since there's not really a great room to fight from back there.
Yeah, I'd have to do this and then come here, and I'd probably get shot a bunch of times.
Mm-hmm. So I'll probably just try.
I mean, they're dropping lots of shiny parts, but this is kind of inconvenient.
Yeah, it's really not good.
I was aiming at the wall because I have a better chance of hitting it, rather than having it go back there and hitting pieces of garrison and be completely unnecessary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so right now I'd say swap out the launcher and swap back a regular rifle, because I think it has more hit chance.
Yeah. Now that we are just facing one enemy.
Yeah, now it should be fine.
And now we are going to examine what dropped, take what we want, and promptly leave.
Mm-hmm. Well, not leave the level, of course, but
leave this general area.
Yeah.
Nuclear core, it's damaged. Also damaged. Improved signal interpreter we do want. Light deuterium, ooh.
Light deuterium is slightly better than light nuclear core, I think. I think it has less heat, if I recall correctly.
Yes.
Yep.
The light nuclear core has more storage, but we don't really care.
Exactly. So probably get the light deuterium engine and also the signal interpreter.
Yeah.
Oh, you're standing in a broken wall tower right now, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's dangerous.
Yeah, that's not.
Collapse. And
there's the assault.
Would really hurt. Alright, you can just hide out behind this door, I think. Should be okay.
Like in here?
Or just go into the room and you can maybe take cover between machines or something.
Yeah, okay.
Just any bottleneck to fight them from.
If some of the stuff we want does get picked up, it's probably going here, which we know has a sentry in it.
Yep.
So honestly, we can just shoot more watchers, and we don't really need the light deuterium engine.
I mean, it's not necessary, but it's nice.
It's nice, but if we wind up not getting it, it's not a really big deal.
Yeah, true. We already have the nuclear cores.
This is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Nope, still blocked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If the machine breaks, that's gonna be painful.
Yes.
So normally you would rather be next to a wall, since they don't.
Right now, we do not really have the option.
Yeah, that's true. Ooh, armor plating is really nice.
Armor plating is really nice. We also have some fresh treads that will replace the most damaged treads.
Yep.
And light nuclear core in better condition than this one.
Yeah, so just take all of it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, that was the assault. The other one was
Yeah.
just a random arc.
I probably moved back between the machines again.
Yes.
So it can also be nice with the assault squads to use launcher weapons. Oh man.
So there must have been another patrol around, and they called them in. Just they passed really close until local alerts happened.
That's painful.
Yeah, this is the kind of thing that gets me in trouble with the brick farm.
All right.
Somewhere along the way, something like this happens, either because of this or because I go into a room thinking it has one door and it has two more doors on another side, and there's a sentry that calls a patrol from the other side or something, and I deal with a bunch of enemies at once in a situation where it's hard to bottleneck them, and I lose half my core. This is the problem.
Also, just to interrupt you, I'll respond to that in a second. But 8 FPS is saying in the chat, subscribes. So welcome to the stream, 8 FPS.
Hi, 8 FPS.
To respond to what you said, so that this is often the issue. It's basically two parts. First of all,
don't get into these situations in the first place.
Yeah, that's the first point I'm going to make. It's sometimes hard to avoid them, but it's definitely almost always possible. So in this case, you could have decided not to hack when the trace was at 40%, and
true.
it would have saved a lot of trouble. So that's minor mistakes like that can spiral out of control.
Yeah, they really do add up. And yeah, honestly, like I don't do these relatively intensive farms that require a lot of hacking and really knowing exactly where the limit is in materials when you don't have system shields yet. So I'm not super used to that. Yet, in retrospect, I agree that was a mistake. With more experience, I would have known, no, this trace is too high.
All right. But that's just a minor mistake that can happen. The second point I was wanting to make, I had I think either my last brick farm attempt or the one before that, I actually succeeded. I think I also got W6, I'm not sure, on that one. And I got to high sec, or not high sec, but alert level 4 in materials. And before leaving materials, I got the achievement for killing more than 100 bots. So it's definitely possible to get into this kind of situations. The only difference being that at that point I did have a proper fortified position to fight unlike this.
Yeah. No, I agree that you can get into these kinds of situations and still come out alive. It's just what tends to happen is this sort of thing happens. I don't die, I come out alive, but I lose a bunch of my combat parts and a bunch of my core, and I'm not confident in staying on the level longer to farm it. And so I wind up leaving without some of the pieces for the flying brick.
All right. Yeah. The only thing I have to say to that is that I think it's really it's two parts. It's both caused by minor mistakes. Things like getting this many enemies.
Yeah,
Focusing your attention
especially
on you in the first
all
place,
protected by an angel that I can't shoot at.
Yeah. So at this point, it may even be beneficial to just go full on ham and try to hit a rocket launcher projectile at the opposing wall there.
Rocket launcher here?
Yeah, pretty much. Because I think that might even save you a lot of core in the long run.
Yeah, this is the kind of situation where it's like, okay, time for the let's see who's tougher achievement.
Yeah.
But I think if I aim for the angel I can try, I'm likely to hit one of these, which is still okay because the radius will include a whole bunch of enemies, but...
Yeah, I'd also check which one of them has a smaller radius. So you want the one with the smallest radius if possible.
They're both the same.
Okay. Then it doesn't really matter. I suppose the shock bomb launchers may be slightly better, and it's also already damaged, so it's not bad if it breaks.
This is the one I would use in part because if we actually do kind of want chain reactions now. Because they hurt the enemies more than they hurt us, and also we can deal with a little system corruption where the enemies have a lot harder time with that and are much more likely to start shooting each other, which is convenient.
8 FPS says in chat, guys, why didn't you listen to me? I think you
Apparently I can shoot. Apparently I can shoot between the troopers. Okay.
All right, nice.
We will try.
Ouch. Just shoot the large crowd first, maybe. Or, I don't know.
Like in here? Or
yeah,
here?
Probably. Also to reply to 8 FPS's comment, I'm keeping an eye on the comments, but I can't always respond immediately because I'm also talking to DSN, so that's fine.
Okay, I'm gonna put on another tread for coverage.
At this point, I'm not sure if that's a good idea because you're being hit by so many guys. You're
true.
taking more damage in that single turn putting it on. You're preventing by putting it on in the long run. Ouch. Yeah, so this is just a really painful situation. Probably switch back to the...
Yes, now I will switch back to single target weaponry. Because
yeah,
now
there's
one.
Put on more treads now, I'd say.
Okay.
Since now there's only one of them, so... Alright, well, we sort of...
We are taking this katana.
Oh, katana, nice. Okay, that's really good.
The rogue dropped it, we're taking it.
Drop that one.
Yes.
8 FPS says, at least be useful, Pimsky, monitor the chat. I'll try to.
We are taking the backup armor.
Yeah, seems like a good idea.
We did... Oh! That's...
remote shield could be pretty good in an archive, or what am I saying, an extension chain.
Yes.
So it does take a lot of energy.
It takes a lot of energy. We don't want to use it now, but ideally by the extension chain, like we want to be able to fire energy weapons anyway.
Well, I mean, if we have this, instead of firing weapons ourselves, we could just stand behind the corner, let our allies do the work, and
That's true.
using this, they die a little less quickly, so... And that way we won't risk our own parts.
Yeah, that is true. What would we drop or replace and then drop the damage thing for it?
One of our treads is really damaged. I'm not sure if there's a lot of value in holding on to that, but we don't have a lot of backups either.
We have one backup of that right now. We could swap out the wheel if we wanted.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea, probably.
We are
I just think
taking the better engine. Or even that engine.
Yeah, that one's better. At this point, you really want backup threads, since
Yes.
it'll be very painful if you have to switch from threads to something else.
Yes, we really want every backup tread we can get. May even be worth it to take a backup leg for coverage's sake.
I wouldn't take a leg, since we can grab them pretty much anywhere. But
Okay. We do not want the flak cannon.
No, flak cannon is not very good, since I believe it has low targeting.
It has minus 15% targeting, and it sprays everywhere, and it has negative salvage. We don't want it.
Yeah, that's bad. I think ZXC talked a while back about having a build with like 4 flak cannons and then a bunch of targeting, so they're all like snipers.
That is pretty funny.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I'm not sure if it's good, but it's definitely interesting.
I think at this point we do want to go out and check if the signal interpreter is still here. If not, we shoot another watcher for it.
There was also a lighted Thurium engine, etc. So.
Yeah. There's been a bunch of time for recyclers to pick stuff up, but we'll see. Well, we did so much damage that they didn't get very far. It's all still here.
Nice.
So what do we want to drop for what?
1 light nuclear core for the light deuterium engine.
Okay.
I'm also not sure if there's a lot of use in hanging on to the propulsion shielding. Oh, we could drop one of the launchers maybe. This one launcher is already pretty damaged.
Yeah, it
We
is.
really need one launcher.
We do want to find out what's...
staying high in the chat.
Hey! We potentially do want to find out what's in the haulers for in case they have any good guns, but...
We already have a lot of good guns, but...
This is true. But just because some of them are pretty damaged now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's not any particular reason not to kill the haulers.
Well, now that they can't call reinforcements from the garrison.
Yeah, exactly. We took care of that very professionally. So there's 2 things I'd have done differently there.
Not do it in the open?
Yeah, that was actually a 3rd point. Also, you could stand closer for more targeting bonus, because you didn't know in which direction it would run. So in case it would run away from you, you would have.
Actually, I saw it come out this door, so I figured it would run this way as part of its patrol.
Oh, okay. Well,
I found that they often try to run in a way that follows along their patrol routes.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. Good to know. Okay, so then that point's not true. The other point, though, you could have waited 2 turns standing still, and that would also give you a targeting bonus.
That's true. So should we keep on with this one?
Sorry, what did you say?
Should we keep firing at this one now that we've spent 2 turns standing still anyway? Or...
yeah, sure. Just keep firing and hopefully it dies. Okay, wow. That's impressive. Nice trick shot.
Yeah. The only thing we care about is the backup treads.
And the backup threads are worth it. Definitely.
Yes.
Shame the other one didn't drop any threads. I think, ooh, there's some threads.
Yes. I think this is a reason to go in here.
Yeah, agreed. That looks like a dead-end room, which is exactly what we want. And even if it's not, we can hide out in the one cell corridor.
Yeah. Okay, so we didn't need to shoot watchers for these, noted. In fact, the one we have is damaged, but first we will worry about dealing with the defender and hopefully getting treads off it.
Mm-hmm.
Treads!
Nice. Heavy assault rifle, that's also pretty good.
Do we want to replace the really damaged improved assault rifle?
That's a difficult question. I don't think it's really worth it at this point because we have enough backup guns anyway.
Okay.
And the improved assault rifle does do a lot more damage.
Is the heavy assault rifle better than the autogun then? Don't think so.
Well, I think the other gun's better. There was actually a discussion about this on the Discord a while back, and some people did some calculations. I'm
The
not entirely
autogun,
sure, but
the autogun takes a little more matter, but it fires faster. I think it is better.
yeah, it's probably better.
We will take these treads. Do we want to drop something, or do we want to just get rid of these?
You can get rid of those probably because they're already almost broken. So. And let's get back to the other treads there quickly, since we can loot this room later and it will still be there, but the other stuff will get taken by receptors. So let's hope the treads aren't gone yet.
They are not.
Nice.
At this point, are we dropping something, or?
Yeah, probably drop the propulsion shielding, since it's not an improved one, so it's not that good. And we could also probably afford to drop one gun if we want the other treads.
That's true. Now we have been spotted. I think this hauler had an escort.
Yeah.
I would just go back here, because this is potentially a risk.
Yeah, true. It's probably safer to go back there. And he spotted us, so that's fine.
Yeah. No, I knew he was going to spot as soon as he popped out like that.
Mm. 7 people watching now, so still nice and quiet. But...
Yeah. Don't feel obligated to chat, but don't feel obligated to stay quiet and just watch either.
Yeah, at this point I don't really have anything that interesting to say.
Did the grunt already forget I'm here?
Maybe. And I can't see probably how long you've been waiting.
A while.
Because safe to go out there and see if he's
yeah, it's like 100 turns because we acquired the treads and then basically immediately saw the grunt and came back.
Yeah, then he's definitely forgotten about you, but he might still be around. So.
Well, that's inconvenient.
Yeah, you probably want to find him from right here. Can you hit him from this distance?
Yes.
And then I'd say just fire.
Is that specifically because of hunters targeting or what?
It's because you can shoot through walls and.
Yeah.
So.
I'd say they can shoot through one wall. They can't shoot through two, which is useful to know. But just hiding in a room won't help.
Yeah, true. So I usually fight these as soon as I find them and just get rid of them before any others arrive. Because if you have to fight them at the same time and also reposition at the same time, that's really painful.
Yeah. Though in this case, it might be interesting to use this double thickness wall and force it to come around this corner.
We could do that.
It's kind of in the open though, which is the problem with it.
Yeah, the thing is, it could stand right around the corner and shoot us through the corner tile, so we'd have to.
Here.
Um,
No, still that.
yeah, I think that could work.
Okay. Do we want to do that? We could stand like
Uh,
here, and then there's 2 walls
yeah.
this way and 2 walls this way, and he has to actually come around.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that should work. So let's try it. The only possible complication would be if other squads now arrive.
Yeah.
Since you're taking longer to fight him. Ah,
That's
unfortunate. Okay, so yeah, it
decided to
backfired.
shoot through this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think I just have to like move here and do it this way.
Yeah. Too bad for you. We will find someone where you can shoot through one tile and hit you. Told you. Also, welcome back to the stream, Rain. Yeah, it was.
Do we want the Gauss rifle?
Ghost rifle's pretty good.
Yeah.
And I improved assault rifle's already pretty damaged, so
Yeah.
probably yeah.
Okay. We do not care for its targeting computer.
No, not really, since we still have light armor plating.
Yeah.
But if we didn't have anything to replace the hard medium armor plating we have right now, when
Yes.
it breaks, I would pick it up.
Yes, I agree.
In this case, it's not very useful.
Okay, so this said, do we want to now loot this room, or do we want to loot these advanced treads and move on? Or go this way instead and try to go for this terminal?
I don't think the order really matters, but since you're next to this room anyway, just grab the stuff, I'd say.
Okay.
Rain says, I said to put hunter position in the guide, and everyone said, nah, it's easy, don't worry about it.
Put hunter positioning in the guide.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that was a bit of a screw up, so on my part. I thought it would work, but...
This one, I don't think we really need to. And we're accumulating more stuff we want, we could take it.
Well, we could... since that's a shock bomb launcher, right?
Yeah.
It's probably slightly better than a rocket launcher.
That's true. We could potentially, like, swap out this very damaged one for an autogun or something, and then pitch that, too. That's also an option.
I'd probably just swap the launcher since you don't really need to, since they're only for very niche situations.
Yeah.
Rain says, I planted the seed for the guide, now others must water it, and I shall reap the harvest. Yeah, well, I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon. Well, I mean, we really need more people to work on the guide, so...
I am being shot by something I can't see. Came from that direction.
That's probably a hunter.
Probably. Which
So
this watcher probably
back
alerted.
into position. Just go back behind the wall, probably. And then just move back one more tile than last time, so he won't be able to shoot you.
Yeah.
I think this should work.
More enemies, okay. At least this one drops treads.
Mm-hmm.
That was convenient.
Nice. Okay, so then maybe this was the enemy that was shooting you, actually.
Potentially. Do we want to just replace these?
Yeah, sure. 2 backups is probably enough. Though you could also consider dropping one gun, since we have a lot of backup guns. We don't really need that many.
That's true. If I was going to drop one, I would probably first replace this dying one.
Yeah, sure.
Oh dear, swarmers.
8 FPS is saying, actually, the fact that you are still in materials after 2+ hours means you are a monstrous optimizer, Kappa. I just wanna note 8 FPS that this is not me. I don't usually take 2 hours for materials, but
Honestly, I don't usually either, but replying to everyone in the stream makes it take longer.
yeah, true.
Like, in the last stream where I paused for like a minute to explain.
Sorry to interrupt you, but you probably want to put on the light armor.
Armor? Yeah.
What you were saying?
Like, where I saw a holler come out of a room, and I'm like, oh, this room probably has a second door. If I'm just playing myself and I'm not streaming, I don't stop to explain that. I just think, oh, this room probably has a second door much faster, and then I keep playing.
Yeah, so this is remarked that we've been in math for some materials for 5 hours now, actually. That's I'm not sure if it's actually been 5 hours.
It hasn't actually been 5 hours. Okay, that's kind of annoying.
It's been pretty long, so that's probably something we should also think about for the actual.
Yes,
find
for
the
the guide, we do want to be aware of how long does it take and split the videos up accordingly.
Yeah, but also just I don't think anyone's gonna watch a 5-hour materials guide, so we should probably try to cut it down a bit.
Well, definitely not having to respond to chat will at least cut it down a bit. In that we're not responding to like chat doing real memes and so forth.
We can discuss this a bit later in Discord, but I think
That's true.
what, for example, could work is that I respond to chat while you continue playing, because right now we're pausing every time anyone says anything, which is pretty much all the time. So.
Okay. So I think this trooper is going to see me no matter what I do. The one possible chance of him not seeing me is if I duck back in here.
Yeah, but honestly, you can probably find him right here, since if any other troops arrive, you can just fall back into the room. And right now, I mean, it's probably fine fighting him like this, as long as it's one-on-one.
Okay.
Oh, that hurts a bit. Nice. I'm noticing on the stream, by the way, that there seems to be quite a long delay. I'm not sure if that's just...
Okay, now it is not one-on-one.
Oh, yeah, then probably move back into the room. Can a ghost rifle break walls, actually? Maybe check just to be sure. Since if it does...
20 to 23? 24. No.
Okay.
It only penetrates.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna reload the Twitch for a second. So I might miss a couple of comments here, but I'm watching the screen and it's like the content from 10 minutes ago, so I'm gonna check.
Okay, that's a really long delay.
Yeah. I'll check if it's me or there's something weird going on.
Okay, engineer, please move.
You can just... Oh, wait, you can't shoot engineers because they get angry.
Yes.
Just wait a bit then, I guess.
Serfs I can crush.
Twitch is actually acting up for me. I can't watch the stream right now.
Huh.
Oh, now it seems to work again. Alright, I'll just try not to change anything then. I can at least see chat properly.
Okay. Good.
Alright, so we've been in this general area for quite some time, just fighting all the bots coming for us, and we haven't made a lot of progress going
Yes,
anywhere,
I think
which is
this one
not good.
is like enough of a confluence with like, I think it's sort of that there's, you know, an area down here that we came from, an area here, 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 and they're all meeting at this intersection. I think is what's going on. And having to fight all the bots is making it hard to leave. Hello? Okay, possible technical difficulty. Hang on. Okay, Pimpsy says his mic is cut out and he's fixing it, but I should continue. So I am going to continue retreating back into this room again. That was kind of annoying. And hopefully once we do that, get out, maybe not even take stuff, and just leave this obvious confluence. Ah, crap. We probably pushed our alert a bunch by being here for so long, in addition to shooting up that garrison. We will take this because we have nothing else. And then we could fight the assault in here because this is a really good room, or we could try to just leave. At this point, I'm at least going to wait and think about it. Also, this one, there's a mechanic in the area that is going to fix it eventually. So I'm going to tab out momentarily and look at chat. We're also going to be doing a little bit of stuff in order to get the audio fixed. Hey, working? Okay, we will see about the audio that is ongoing.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, now I can hear you.
Oh, alright. For some reason my microphone switched to my regular microphone, and I'm not sure why.
Yeah. Well, in any case, so we got an assault called on us.
Oh, that's an issue, probably.
Yes. I think we've been fighting in this area for just too long. Cartesian, this is the garrison. We blew it up.
Rain says turn up mic a bit, Bimsky. I can't turn up my own volume on Beeson's PC, so...
I can do it. Hang on.
Alright, so we'll just take a small break, I guess, fix my microphone, and then...
Yeah, we could take a break, tweak all these things, come back.
Oh yeah, that could work, actually. Then I'm also gonna grab a drink, actually.
Yeah, makes sense.
I'll be
And
back
we
in.
can think about what to do about this mess.
Yeah. So generally, this is definitely what you. So I have had runs where I stayed in one area the entire time, just hold up in a room, and then killed bunches of enemies until the entire map was yeah, just
I
dead.
think
Uh,
I think
but
that like main.c will just send more patrols though.
well, I mean, if you keep killing them at some point, there's some like the eye of the storm, and you can just move to the next area and continue the process. But generally, you don't want to do that. So if you can avoid it, that's better.
Avoid having this happen in the first place, definitely better.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, we could have probably moved to another area. Um,
Yeah, it's just every time I come out of here, I wind up taking fire again, and now with the assault, I'm debating whether I should hole up in here or try to actually move before it comes.
mhm. It's
Also,
just
I note that there's a mechanic around that keeps repairing any disabled bots.
oh yeah, that's annoying.
We may have to shoot the
Um,
mechanic.
yeah. If we find them, that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think really the large part of the issue that is that we're fighting in a place where we really don't want to be fighting. We're in a bit of a dead end.
Yeah.
There's only one
It's
good
like,
room to fight from,
this
and
is a nice room to fight for. The problem is that the only thing to do with it is then go out into what appears to be the main intersection of the entire floor.
mhm. Rain is saying sometimes you get whack corner spawns where you really can't avoid it. This wasn't one though, so I sort of agree with that sentimentality. Um, I think we could have avoided this. I mean,
Yes.
it's all it can all be traced back to a couple of minor mistakes, but things really got out of hand.
Yes.
All right. On that thought, let's have a bit of a break, and we'll be back in 5 minutes probably.
All right. So, yeah, this won't be too long a break, but we are going to shut down the stream for a bit. See you
Yep.
around, everyone.
Yep.